Chapter 1: The Meaning and Importance of the Meeting, Convention, and Exhibition Industries. Audio recorded by Mr. Vidal. Learning Objectives: To define a meeting, convention, and exhibition. To describe the role of convention and exhibition industry in the tourism industry. To understand the components of convention industry. To be familiar with the history of meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. To explain the growth of the meetings, conventions, and exhibition industry. To appreciate the importance of holding a convention and exhibition. Definition of meeting, convention, exhibition, and incentive travel. Meeting is a conference, workshop, seminar, or other event designed to bring people together for the purpose of exchanging information. Meetings do not include exhibits. A convention is an event in which meetings are combined with exhibitions. An exhibition is an event designed to bring together providers of products, equipment, and services in an environment in which they can demonstrate their products and services to a group of participants in a convention or trade show. Incentive travel. Travel incentives are a reward subset of an incentive program, recognition program, or loyalty program, which is a business tool designed to change consumer behavior to improve profit, cash flow, employee engagement, and customer engagement. The role of the convention and exhibition industry in the tourism industry. The convention and exhibition industry is an exciting and profitable segment of the tourism industry. A major source of revenue for the tourism industry comes from the meetings, conventions, and exhibition segment of the industry. As the tourism industry saw great increases in expenditures, meetings and conventions and exhibitions experienced great growth as well. With the many changes the tourism industry has undergone in the past 20 years, the importance of meetings, conventions, and exhibitions has become more recognized. The need to communicate with one the need to communicate with one another face to face has been the driving force behind the growth of this industry. Components of the convention industry. There are four major components of the convention industry, namely planners and groups they represent, host facilities, services, and exhibitors. Planners are individuals or groups that plan meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. Planners are classified into a number of categories, such as corporate meeting planners, association meeting planners, and independent meeting planners. Corporate meeting planners work exclusively for a corporation. Association meeting planners work exclusively for an association. Independent meeting planners contract their services to both associations and corporations. Host facilities provide lodging, meeting rooms, and food and beverage, as well as a number of other services for groups attending meetings, conventions, or exhibitions. Host facilities include hotels, conference centers, resort hotels, universities, bed and breakfast inns, etc. Services refer to individuals and organizations that provide support for meetings, conventions, and exhibitions segment of the tourism industry. Service suppliers include transportation companies, attractions, tour guide companies, and entertainers. Exhibitors are financially linked with all segments of the meetings, conventions, and exhibition industry. They provide much of the revenue needed for the planners to hold meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. Exhibitors are persons who work for the company. Other names for exhibitor are advertising director, communication director, or director of marketing who is involved in the corporate exhibit program. The main aim of exhibitors is to produce their products, both new and old, to an interested audience. History of meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. Archaeologists who investigated ancient cultures have found ruins that served as places where primitive people gathered to discuss common interests such as hunting plants, hunting plans, war activities, peace negotiations, and tribal celebrations. Each village or hamlet had its own gathering place. As geographical areas grew, cities became the meeting places for people who wanted to trade goods or discuss common problems. As cities became the center of activities for geographical regions and transportation improved, the desire for the desire of the people to gather to discuss things of common interest became more widespread. Trade associations, professional, fraternal, and religious organizations assembled to discuss relevant issues. Discussion of trade regulations, as well as selling or trading of goods, were the main reasons for convening. Many trade, professional, fraternal, and religious associations had their historical roots in Europe. In the United States, such activity took place only in the mid 1800s. As America grew, so did its trade, professional, fraternal, and religious associations. In the Philippines, Manila, its capital, is proud to have pioneered the international meeting industry in Southeast Asia. 1976 was a memorable year for the region. It was in this year that Manila opened the door to Asia's first full fledged convention center, the Philippine International Convention Center, or the PICC, to the International Monetary Fund, or World Bank meeting. Since then, Manila has developed professionalism and expertise. It has developed an infrastructure of deluxe accommodations, efficient transportation network, modern telecommunications to support a versatile range of meeting facilities. In 1996, Manila celebrated 20 years as a leading destination for meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. The growth of the meetings, conventions, and exhibition industry. The growth of meetings, conventions, and exhibition industry has been remarkable. Most of this development has occurred within 2 to 5 years. This growth has been due to several factors: meeting planners, associations, the airline industry, the lodging industry, convention centers, conference centers, meeting technology, and ground handlers. Meeting planners associations. There was much development of the association connected with the meeting planners. These associations not only grew in numbers, but also expanded the list of services they offered to their members. Majority of these associations increased their emphasis on education. Other growth factors included the rise of the independent meeting planners, the increase in the number of women planners, certification and development of standards, and the integration of travel agents into the profession. Airline industry. The advancement of the airline industry enabled people to travel quickly and efficiently. This was made possible by the introduction of the jet airplane, an invention that revolutionized transportation worldwide. A relevant factor was the regulation of the airline industry, which resulted in the vigorous competition among airlines to attract more passengers. This caused a reduction in cost of air travel. Lodging industry. The lodging industry recognized the financial importance of meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. Hotels grew and became convention centers. Hoteliers learned to adapt their services to different clients. Marketing directors learned how to work with meeting planners. Convention centers. Convention centers expanded in terms of exhibition spaces, accessibility, and storage facilities. They were able to accommodate all the activities of a convention and trade show under one roof. Traffic was improved, allowing large numbers of people to move quickly from area to another. Convention bureaus. Convention bureaus grew rapidly, both in numbers and size of operations. The number of bureaus has doubled since 1980 from 100 to more than 250. Their operators have become more professional. They actively participated in industry and association affairs. Conference centers. Conference centers changed their appearances during the past 2 decades. For some time, they maintained a business only appearance. This has been replaced by modern restaurants, recreational facilities, and the latest high tech audiovisual equipment. Meeting technology. Modern audiovisual equipment gave meeting planners a greater degree of flexibility and creativity that was never possible in the past. Video projectors, 360-degree projection techniques, multi image presentations, and unique sound systems have become very common. Ground handlers. Effective ground arrangements became necessary as meetings and conventions become more complex. Ground arrangements include planning tours, transportation, sightseeing, banquets, and hotel reservations. Convention service companies were established in 1970s to develop creative meeting programs. The importance of holding a convention and exhibition. One of the most rapidly growing segments of the tourism industry is the convention and exhibition industry in the United States. It has developed into an industry which is worth more than 25 billion. The international convention and exhibition market has grown considerably in Western Europe, mainly in France, Belgium, Great Britain, and Switzerland. Conventions and exhibitions generate a tremendous amount of revenue, and it is within the tourism industry. Travel sales from meetings, conventions, and exhibitions are so important to the economy that all levels of government have organized, advertised, and provided services to attract these groups. The United States has offices in major industrial countries to help organizations with travel arrangements to the US. Each state allots a major part of its budget to advertising to encourage conventions and business travel to their state. Majority of cities with a population of around 200,000 have visitor and convention centers which aim to attract and support meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. Over the years, the International Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus has undertaken an assessment of the economic impact of meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. It was found out that out of town convention delegates spend an average of 638 for a 3.5-day stay. Delegates to international or regional conventions or exhibitions stay an average of 4.1 days and spend an average of $818. Trade show delegate expenditures exceeded 1,000 including 1,000 including exhibitor and association expenditures. Chapter summary. A meeting is a conference, workshop, seminar, or other event designed to bring people together for the purpose of exchanging information. Meetings do not include exhibits. An exhibition is an event designed to bring together providers of products, equipment, and services in an environment in which they can demonstrate their products and services to a group of participants in a convention or trade show. A convention is an event in which meetings are combined with exhibitions. The convention and exhibition industry is an exciting and profitable segment of the tourism industry. A major source of revenue for the tourism industry comes from the meetings, conventions, and exhibition segment of the industry. There are four major components of the convention industry. These are the planners, host facilities, services, and exhibitors. Planners are individuals or groups that plan meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. Planners are classified into corporate meeting planners, association meeting planners, and independent meeting planners. Host facilities provide lodging, meeting rooms, food and beverage, and other services for groups attending meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. Services refer to individuals and organizations that provide support for meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. In ancient times, archaeologists have found ruins that serve as places where primitive people gathered to discuss common interests. Each village has its own gathering place. Later, cities became meeting places for people who wanted to discuss common problems. For people who wanted to discuss common problems, trade associations, professional, fraternal, and religious organizations were established to discuss relevant issues. In the United States, these associations were organized in the mid 1800s. In the Philippines, Manila opened the Philippine International Convention Center or the PICC to the International Monetary Fund or World Bank meeting in 1976. Since then, Manila has been known as the convention city of the Philippines. The growth of meetings, conventions, and exhibitions industry has been due to the following factors: meeting planners, Meeting Planners Association, the airline industry, the lodging industry, convention centers, conference centers, meeting technology, and ground handlers. The convention and exhibition industry is one of the fastest growing segments of the tourism industry. Conventions and exhibitions generate a considerable amount of revenue within the tourism industry. Hence, most cities have and convention centers which are designed to entice meetings, conventions, and exhibitions.